All right, you guys. So I'm going to make this really quick because I'm actually filming. I brought our home camera, but I guess it's been a little dusty. So I'm using my cell phone. All right. Really quick, just wanted to show you the free cash flow problem. Do not follow the solutions in the book. I will bring solutions in for you. Okay, and actually, I take that back. I'm not going to bring solutions in for you. I'll bring them in for the review test, okay? And I'm not even going to give you this problem on the review test or take-home test. Just a heads up, I wanted to show you guys this. I'm making this actually as I'm standing up with 2 boxes and 2 yardsticks, okay? Because this is how much I love you guys. So, just a heads up, this is number 26 from chapter 4. And as you notice, and I'm just going to show you the problem here real quick. Oof, I just moved the box. Hold on one second. Let me get this focused in again. Okay, so back to number 26. It says, construct a new version of table 4.7, assuming that the competition, and this is from chapter 4, page 102. And it says, construct, assuming, okay, from a new version, which you're going to make of table 4.7, assuming the competition drives down profitability on existing users as well as new investment to 11.5% in year 6, 11% in year 7, 10.5% in year 8, 8% in year 9, and all years later. These are just like the free cash flow is just like the dividend discount models, especially the 2-stage, where you have one as a constant stage, which would be this one, okay, where it settles down. And it says, what is the value of the concatenator business, okay? So with that said, basically what we're looking at is we're just using a dividend discount model, okay? And this actually happens to be from the book right here and from the slides, as we went through this, I believe, in the slides, okay? I just wanted to show you guys this real quick. As you can see, I've been using this book a couple of years. Or this, is this the 12th version? Yes, it is. I actually use the 11th version a lot more. But basically, we're looking at this model, okay, for the model. Now, with those, basically what they're saying is make assumptions and then go and make new assumptions on this table, which is table 4.7, okay. And let me zoom out here so you can see this, or zoom in and zoom out. Okay, so we've got that, and really that's going at 12% out to the first 3 years, and then it goes to 9% growth, both for asset growth rate and earnings growth rate, right? So basically we're doing the same thing. You know, when I give you the review test, we are going to do a problem like this, but it's actually going to be from chapter 19. And as a matter of fact, it's going to be chapter 19 and number 23, okay? It's going to be the Chiara company, which we're going to use the free cash flow, but in this case, we are going to do the calculations here where we're doing this type of work, but we're going to use the operating cash flow, the net capital spending, the change in net working capital. So that's why I'm not going to include this on your review test. But just so for those that did the homework, what I am interested in so that we can get this basically moving forward. You know, basically what they're saying is in number 26 is, you know, along with the original assumptions, the only changes that are made are as in year 2 and 3 and 4, you've got 12% growth, right? asset and earnings growth. And then in year, was that 1, 2, 3, 4, right? We've got asset growth in, let's see, goes out to, in this one, 12%, out to year 3, and asset growth goes from 9%, assuming 9% from year 4 to 6, and then from year 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, which is the one that I would prefer that you actually know, and then just be able to say, okay, well, based on the asset value, okay, and I'm basically going over just what I'd like you to know from this problem. There's the asset level beginning and then the ending, which becomes the beginning of the next one, right? And you're going to assume that these assets are growing at a certain point, okay, at 12%. And then it starts to slow up to 9%, okay, at least for year 5. Now, in number 26, what happens is we've got a slow up in year 5 to a 9% growth rate, right? And then it goes to number 6, which is actually going to be, and I'm looking at it, it's 11.5% asset and earnings growth rate. You can assume that's what it means in year 6, 11% in year 7, 10.5 in year 8, and finally 8% in year 9 and thereafter. So it's kind of like the 6% in the original problem, okay? So just a heads up, as we know from the two-stage dividend discount model, okay, that's when we know that, okay, well, when we're using this model and this one right here, okay, we know that basically at this point, all right, you're gonna take it out for this problem on number 26. You're gonna take it out to basically the 8th year, and then looking, because it starts 10.5% in year 8, and then when does it start? The 8%, where it settles into an 8% growth in year 9. So this will reflect basically, you're going to have something like this, okay? So you're going to have right here where your free cash flows, okay, your stream of free cash flows go from year 1 to year 8, all right? And remember that in year 8, you've got some different growth assumptions. And then in year 9, it starts to settle in at 8%. So that's why we have basically this right here. So you have to take year 8, and you're kind of looking at the present value of everything from there on forward. So what do I mean by that? You're going to take that last component, which is the horizon value, okay, or PVH, all right, equals 1 over, okay, 1.10 to the 8th, right? And so notice that it's really the present value in year 8 looking out into year 9 where it settles in, okay? This is no different than the dividend growth model, the two-stage. So with this one, you're actually going to have a constant growth perpetuity, because you've got the free cash flows growing at an 8%, and our discount rate, or opportunity cost of opportunity rate, is 0.10. And that comes from the text. This is all mentioned in, let's see, I'm jotting down and looking down here. And this is all mentioned in page 94 and 95. Many of these assumptions, okay? This is really, I want you guys to be able to take away that this is what you do, okay? So when I'm looking at this, yes, we do have a free cash flow from year 9. That's just like that dividend from the following year where it settles in. But you discount it back, right? You do this first and then do this next, right? to get your value of your horizon model. Then once you do that, you add it in right here, okay? And your free cash flows will be free cash flow out to year 8. And then it's going to be looking at the present value. You're going to be adding on the present value from year 9 and thereon, okay? But from the standpoint of year 8. So I should really be using a timeline on this one. But just a heads up, because I want you guys to actually start to look at, and I will send this out, which is chapter 19, number 23, where instead of using 1 plus R, we use 1 plus the weighted average cost of capital. That's the only difference. And we use really the free cash flow that you learned in beginning finance. All right, which is basically the cash flow from the assets. Okay, and the cash flow from the assets, otherwise known as free cash flow, is equal to the operating costs. Okay, minus net capital spending, minus any changes in net working capital. All right, so that should do it for that problem. And my phone only records out to so much, like 10 minutes. Hold on one sec.